Hello, this is Manesh Patel from the EII Capital Group. This is January 25th, 2011. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the global markets where we cover everything from the US to Asia to Europe and so forth. Okay, got a lot to cover. This is a disclaimer to state this is for educational use only. All charts are either in Thinkorswim, TradeStation, or FreeStockCharts.com. Here are my contact details. There's my email address and also Twitter here at Ichimoku Trading. You can also go to our website and get access to all our free videos that are available. Okay, let's go and jump straight into our global markets, and let's go to freestockcharts.com and start looking at the weekly time frame for all our global markets. Let's set this up, and let's go first start off in Europe. Let's go to Germany. And if you look at German market, let's shrink this down. It's gotten to the level that we predicted it to get to. At the first level here, right about here, which is 71.59. Next key level, if it breaks through that, is going to be roughly around 72.70. But this is still very, very strong as far as the weekly time frame is concerned. So we're still going on very strong. We haven't had a major correction at all. We had a minor correction here, you could see back here, beginning of the year, but that was very, very minor. But this is still going on very strong as Frankfurt is. So that's the German market. If you go over to London, London market is still going on very strong. If you look at the levels there, we got to one level here, which is right here, which is 6064. The next level for it to get to is about 62.86. So number 200 points too. But this market looks very, very strong too. German does look better than London, but this looks very strong too. Let's look at the Paris market, which has been the weaker of all the markets in Europe, outside the Spain and so forth. It looks like it's basically getting to the top here. A couple of more points till it gets to the top here, and they could either do a head and shoulder, triple top, whatever you want to call it. But the key thing is what it's going to do at that level. If it breaks through there, then it can start a bullish trend finally in the Paris market out there. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Let's go to Spain. If you look at the Spain market, it's basically in the cloud, so it's consolidating. There's nothing really there. If you look at Israel, as you can see, that breaks through the resistance level here, turning into support. This is still bullish, trending to the top side, but the key is what's going to happen here at the Tinkinson level here for this ETF representation of the Israel market. Next, let's go out to Russia. You saw the bombing yesterday in Russia. Let's go to daily. We're not getting weekly for some reason. If you could see the downward movement there on the Russian ETF. Let's shrink this down some. It's basically right now it's in a pullback phase, but it is bullish trending, but it's pulling back. Key level for this ETF is going to be around 27.25. Let's go to South Africa. South Africa, let's go to weekly. Weekly, you could see basically it is bullish trending. However, it still needs a lot of work to go. It's pulling back right now, and it's getting down to a key level of do or die at 66 level. Okay, so let's now go over to Asia, and let's go look at the Shanghai market. Shanghai market, you can see on the weekly time frame, is basically in the cloud, so it's basically consolidating, nothing there. Hong Kong market, it is bullish trending, but it may be over now. This may have been a miniature double top, or a little less than a double top, but key thing is going to be a level here, 23,500. What happens there, or does it come up here to 25? So it's kind of ranging now. It's got to make a decision one way or another which way it wants to go. Tokyo market, remember we've been talking about this, it's popped its head out of the cloud finally. So it's got a bullish sentiment, and then here it's come to the cloud, bounced up the top of the cloud, and has a potential going up. This thing does have a potential going up. However, look at this future cloud. It's still bearish and it's pretty fixed, so we got to wait and see what happens there. But this market does look like a potential of trending this year finally. But we gotta wait and see what happens there. Let's go to the Indian market, the Bombay Sensex. If you look at the weekly, it came down here, The Tinkinson Cajunston has not flipped at all, so it's got to pull back. It looks like it may try to pull back all the way to 19,500, and then the key question is what's it going to do there. Typically for January and February, the money market does go down, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Let's go to Australian. Let's go find the Australian market. There it is. Australian market is bullish trending. It's trying to retest this high right here. Try to get to at least that shoulder there of 49.82. And key question is, what's it going to do when it gets there? Will it break through or not? But this one has to start breaking through. If it does not, the bullish momentum is going to pretty much die. Let's come out to the U.S. side. To North America, this is Chile market. You can see it's in a pullback, and you're getting right close to the Cajunston. The question is what's going to happen there. And then the Mexico market is still very, very strong. Basically broke for this thing right here, turned that resistance into support, and the key question is what's it going to do now. Okay, so we've done for all the markets now. Let's go for the U.S. markets. I remember on the left-hand side is our daily time frame. On the right-hand side is our weekly time frame. Let's go look at the NASDAQ market. If you look at the weekly, we're still very strong because we haven't even penetrated Tinkinson at all. On the daily time frame, we're between the Tinkinson and the Cajunston. So on the weekly, we're bullish, trending still very strong. On the daily, we're basically now have pulled back. We're at a medium pullback, and we gotta wait and see what happens there. Let's go look at the ES. If you look at the ES, we're strong on a weekly, bullish trending on the weekly. But notice here on the ES, the S&P mini futures, they've actually a lot stronger right now than the NASDAQ. Okay, so the S&P is now getting a little more momentum on a bullish side than the NASDAQ, which was NASDAQ was leading last year. So S&P looks like it's trying to lead this year. So right now. Yeah, and the reason why I'm saying that is because on the NASDAQ, remember, price was between the Tinkinson and the Cajunston. On the ES mini futures, it's not. It's still above the Tinkinson barely, but it's still there. Okay, let's go look at the Dow futures. Dow futures is a lot higher off the Tinkinson. So if you look at this, if you look at all the three markets right now between the Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P mini futures, all of them bullish trending on the weekly. The Dow futures right now are a lot stronger than all three of them. Then comes the S&P mini futures, and then the NASDAQ. And then let's go look at the Russell real fast. If you look at the Russell, it's weaker of all three because look at that, it's penetrated below the Tinkinson Cajunston. So if you look there, but it's still bullish trending on the weekly. So from higher momentum strength, you got the Dow, then you got the S&P, and you got the NASDAQ, and then the Russell. That's how the order of rank is for this week, for this month so far. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Remember, you're still in the first month, so nothing, you really can't tell. But last year, NASDAQ did lead all the markets percentage-wise moving forward. That's it for this week for the Ichimoku video. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next week.